Glad you like it. Alright. What? Odd. I did launch this, right? Where is it? Yeah. Hello? Hello? My Puda. I launched my trading software and it not launching. Alright, we go. Put this one on this screen. Put this one on this screen. Easy day. We'll find out when we get there. Okay. Ah, yes. Nah, full, actually. I've got that chicken to get through. I've got all that chicken to get through. Yeah. Way nicer when you read it. Yeah. Just saying. Wow, these are taking a long time to load. For no reason. No Ah, this is VBD. This needs to be restarted. 5 bit slot size reset. Go. Take a trade when that opens, I expect. Slot size. Page rate. Ah. Yeah. And then the next one. No, we're not using that. MVDB. Time. Bandy back. Good morning, viewer. How are you? Who's this? Howdy. USD. Okay. Confusing myself. This is why we have more on separate systems. On separate accounts. It makes it much easier to track what is going on. Yeah, I think I will. I hope you have a good day. Okay, so we are up and ready for 11 when the markets start moving. In the meantime, hello buddy. In the meantime, this is my new system that I am working on that doesn't draw new zones. It only once it's done. So if I was to grab this, I wonder if I could just, will it generate the new zones if I do this? Where is it? Oh, this is only the indicator. So if I was to drop the indicator back on again, it updates with the new zones. Okay. So desktop, run a new desktop, and Hey Turbo, how you doing? Well, oh, okay, so Ark is still in game. Is there anyone I would recommend watching or a Discord to join? Well, I suppose it depends a little bit. I mean, it's a really hard one. I don't have an easy answer for that because there's so much shit out there. There's so much trash. There's so many scammers. A great place to start is gonna be this guy. He has a specific video which is called this one specifically.
Show me someone who claims to be profitable that sells something and has third-party audited.
This guy. Now, if I grab this, start with that video. Okay, that's a great baseline. What this does is it teaches you the biggest obvious red flags to look for when people are scamming. So, ironically, you're asking where to look, and I'm saying this guy will teach you where to not look. It is 100%. If they're selling something, it is. You know, I say that, and I'm scratching my head here because I just wrote a fucking book, and the couple of people that I've had helping me edit it and stuff are like, you need to sell this. This needs to, like, you need to publish this and sell it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Want to give it away for free because I don't want to sell a book. And everyone's like, you need to be, you can't give this away for free. It's, so I haven't done anything with it. So this guy, not the guy you're looking at, but this guy, I'm in trading. He's one of the anti-gurus, right? But that video is a great starting place because it gives you all the warning signs. Like, if this is what they're doing, they're probably a scammer. His whole channel is basically that. He's got another channel where he's learning how to trade, and you can follow his journey. He's got a website as well somewhere where he explains his whole process for free. So that's a great place to start. He's a micro scalping day trader. He loves intraday micro scalping. Okay. There's another guy who's a longer term days, weeks swing trader. This guy, Nick Sean, who I really love. I used to really love. Now I don't really like his new content. I think this is his old content, which was great. I haven't watched much of his new content, to be honest. And then, so that gives you a short-term and a long-term trader. I find all of Iman's videos incredibly entertaining. There's another guy called Tommy Trades as well who does similar stuff to Iman. And then I don't know. Like how do I explain? I'm writing a book that goes through exactly that question that you are asking, right? I'm surprised that you've read a ton of my stuff. Most people read one comment and then try to shit on me, so I find that very interesting. I suppose there's not a lot of people on Reddit who are like, well, I do stream my trades live every day, so I mean, yeah. Oh, look, it's a great video. It really is. Well, at least I'm consistent. You gotta give me that. Yeah, like what? So you're new. How new is new? Also, I've got to figure out how to stop. So Twitch is on like delayed mode. I'm gonna spend a minute and see if I can figure out how to turn that off, because it takes like 30 seconds for us to say anything to each other. So just give me a second. Turn off. I meant to do this the other day. Create a dashboard, settings, stream, latency mode. Yeah, create a dashboard. Create a dashboard. What? Man, my memory's shit at the moment. Settings, stream. Yeah, well, this is going to be settings, isn't it? Settings? Is it settings? Stream. Latency. Normal. No. Low. Yes. See? As new as you could possibly be, I have only been investing in crypto and gold and silver, and I'm 22 years old. I know nothing about stock trading. Okay, so I'm in low latency mode and there's still a 15 or 20 second delay. I don't understand why. That is weird. Maybe it's in OBS. Okay, I'll answer that in a second. I really want to really want to sharpen this up. OBS have latency. I could click through. All the settings to find it, or I could just Google it. Right? Settings, advanced stream delay. Settings. Advanced. Stream delay. No. Automatically reconnect. Okay. So there's no delay. I don't know. Okay. So you've done a bit of gold, silver, and crypto. Okay. I like gold. I really do. I like gold because it has low spreads, low slippage, and tends to be very trendy, which makes it very easy to predict direction. Take advantage of direction. I used to not really believe in being able to predict direction, but the more I've learned, and I kind of am realizing that I am actually very good at predicting direction for a little while. Like very, very short term, maybe for an hour or so, I can predict what direction it's going to go. And I'm trying to expand on that idea at the moment. But generally speaking, that takes fucking years, so it's not for beginners. I would be more inclined to say that the better way to trade, rather than trying to predict the direction, is to position yourself to be able to take advantage of a direction, and then use indicators and risk management to stop yourself out when it goes against you, but be in a position so that when it does go your direction, you get a longer win. Or at least that's been my philosophy lately. if you have a look at one of these, just to make that point. Where is he? This guy. So, if you have a look, that's what this has done, right? He's seen the direction and he's sat in it, and as soon as it goes against him, he's closed it out. He's seen, can you see this? Yes. He's seen the direction, and as soon as it went against me, he closed it out. He's seen that direction, he caught it, and then as soon as it's gone against me, it's closed it out. Okay? I just positioned myself to be in that trade. I didn't know what direction it was going to go. This script, when it starts, it just takes 2 trades. One each way. Do you know what hedging is? Hedging is, let me explain. This is way more, okay, this is way more complicated than it. People complicate this more than it needs to be, okay? You can do this any time frame, any, right? You're like, holy shit, hang on a minute, this is gold. Yeah, it is. Okay. Watch this. This is pretty much the best trading strategy I've ever fucking had. It's amazing. What I do is, this by the way is TradingView. There should be a link to an affiliate version of this on my Twitch. You should be able to find it. This tool here, let me start on a clean, anything clean with no drawings on it. Okay, so yeah, easy. Is that better? Yeah, no. Oh, okay. Wow, okay, there is no latency all of a sudden. Okay, good. So this is TradingView. I don't know how much you know, so I just pretend that you don't know anything. TradingView over here on this sidebar here has got all the tools. Now this layer here, projection tools, as you can see, long and short are on my favorites list. Okay, this is them here on my favorites fast bar, long and short tool. Okay, what they do is I'll do this so that they're easier to read. It's one of these. One of these is the original car. Okay, well, it'll do. Whatever. I might actually turn that volume down a bit more. Don't mind the pretty girls. Here we go. Okay, now I can hear myself think. So, because I had that pushed through an external speaker, it's way louder for me than it is for you. So, this is the long tool, and then this is your same thing, short tool, right? And think of it this way. This is your entry price at the middle. This here is your take profit, and this here is your stop loss. Okay? Same here. This is your entry price, your stop loss, and your take profit. I'm assuming you know what they are. The other thing you want to be aware of, and TradingView is terrible at this, by the way. See, I might turn that notification off because otherwise it's just gonna keep pinging you, which is I think on this one. So just give me a second. I'll just set this up for you because I'm adult. That one? Yo, anytime, brother. Hurry. Notifications. Oh, okay. So, long and short tool, yes. TradingView, yes. Another thing that you need to fix on TradingView immediately is this is your ask and bid. I'm going to assume you know fucking nothing, okay? So, I'm in Forex, which is foreign exchange, which is literally New Zealand dollar against Japanese dollar. Like, the difference between them. I assume you have a basic understanding of what that is. Now, this is different to stock trading. Stocks is about understanding the market, understanding the company, yada 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 stuff, right? I'm not really interested in that. I can do it. I have longer term trades on some stocks, but I'm not really interested in that. I like this, and I assume that you would like this more too, because it's about the movement, the volatility. Like, I don't care if price is going up or down, just as long as it moves. And stocks, price doesn't fucking move, right? So that's why you're into crypto, that's why you're into gold, because they're highly volatile, they move a lot, they look easy and trendy, right? Our brain likes to see trends, so we find them very attractive. I started with Forex, and I'm going to show you how this sort of works. Now, there's a thing called the ask bid line, and it's important because for some reason, new traders, when we start, we will go to the 1 minute time frame, and we try to trade the 1 minute, and the first time we do it, the 1 minute, yep, fucking hell, fucking hell. Well, leave page. I don't know why that locked up. 1 minute? Right. So, what are the time frames? Well, I mean, I don't know if I understand the question, to be honest. It should be fairly obvious what a time frame is, so I don't understand the actual question. How short is my window for getting in and out? I like the 15 minute and the 1 hour, and I run that over a weekly time frame. So I'm not a big fan of the 1 minute. There is an exception, and that is gold. And the reason that I'm not a fan of the 1 minute, and this is actually what I'm about to explain right now. So the reason why I'm not a fan is because of the ask bid. So if you have a look on the 1 minute time frame, the ask bid price is significantly bigger than the candles. Okay, so if I was looking to take a trade on these candles here, and I wanted to take a trade that was just blank random example, it doesn't matter. If I wanted to enter here and have my stop loss set at this bottom level, hoping that it would continue to go up, and then obviously it goes down, and I wanted this trade to go like this, right? I was hoping that this trade would go in this direction, see, like that, over the future, right? And I put my stop loss here at the bottom of this trade here. So what I've done is the instant I opened this trade, if price was at this point, by the way, start new. If price was at this point like this, right, if we were here, and I thought our price is going to keep going up for whatever my reason is, right, so irrespective, and I put my stop loss there, that would be the size of my trade. And say I wanted, for whatever fucking reason, I wanted 2 to 1 or whatever. This says 2 to 1 here. Right, because I thought price was going to keep going up, and so I put it at the recent low. It's a common tactic. It's a terrible tactic, but it's a common tactic. And I thought that was my trade, and I thought that was a good trade. The second I hit buy on this trade, I would lose the whole trade. And the reason I would lose the trade is because of spread. So if I go out of replay mode again, I just wanted to show you that in replay mode. This is my spread. Bid and ask prices here. Okay. This is my stop loss. The bid and ask is bigger than my stop loss. This is, think of it as the broker's commission, basically. Right? This is retail commission that you've got to pay. And on the 1 minute time frame, the second I took that trade, the price wouldn't have opened here. My price would have opened here, just below the bid ask. I'll show you exactly what I mean by placing a fake trade So you can see the bid ask is here. Now, if I place this trade right now, the price I actually opened at is here, but you'll see it's instantly at $2.42 loss, right? And the reason is because I have to now overcome all of this spread. So if I put my stop loss there and my take profit there, right? I have to overcome all of this spread on the bid and ask, as well as the trade itself, okay? Now, as you zoom out, the bid and ask become less relevant. So if I go out to 1 hour, if I go out to 1 hour, and I do a similar trade where I was going like, you know, from the low to the recent high, you can see how much less significant the spread becomes. So that's why I would recommend starting with, if you're going to go into Forex or something like that, you want to be working at a time frame where the spread is insignificant to your strategy. Because if you're working at the 1 minute and your strategy is a 1 minute candle, right? I'll delete this. So if your strategy is a 1 minute candle, I'm going over this again because it's so important. This cost me so much money. And that's your whole strategy. Look at that. Alright? If that was my strategy, was one candle, my spread's there. The instant I open it, it would literally just close me at a loss. The instant I opened that trade. Now here's something cool with these two tools. I'll show you these, and this will just help you. I don't know if you've ever used TradingView. Hey! Back off. Good boy. Okay. So, I'm just going to go to the 1 hour and show you how these tools are beautiful. And hopefully it will give you something to play with if you want to go away at any point. Okay, if I take a trade, doesn't matter, 1 hour time frame, I go to the recent low, right, and I wanted to go to, say, this point up here, right? See that? Arbitrary, just making shit up, no reason behind it. I'm just giving you an example. I'll close this all out. Paper trading's okay because I hedge all the time. Paper trading won't let me hedge, so I don't use it a lot. Shut up! But, okay. So, say that I want to take this trade. I believe that price is going to get to this point after bouncing off this point, blah, blah, blah. I've got some kind of confirmation, whatever nonsense, whatever indicators, whatever your reason, doesn't matter, I don't care. Say this is the trade, and my account has, in this instance, I have $100 in this test account. Let's make it a, yeah, I mean, you can do that, so let's do that. So let's do 1,000. Okay, so this account now has $1,000 in it. Paper trading is lovely. You can do all kinds of cool things. Now say I want every trade to be worth $100, 10% of the account. Okay. It doesn't matter if I take the trade there or there, I still want it to be worth, the risk to be worth $100. This is what I was saying about your tools evaluating your risk for you, because your tools would tell you what your risk, how far the risk is, how far it's likely to go against you before it reverses and goes your direction, as opposed to trying to predict the direction. It's how far is it likely to move, and then you go just a little bit bigger than that, and then you make that your trade. So if I wanted this to be the equivalent of $100, I'd create a limit order, and I could say that I want the price to be a percentage of my balance. Well, I could make it 10% of my balance. If my balance is $1,000, here look, my stop loss is $99.99, which is $100, right? It's automatically calculated See, it's automatically calculated that a limit order here, this would be my stop loss at minus 100, and this would be my take profit at 2.27. 2.27. Do you understand? Now, to do that, it's got to take 1,500 units in the order quality. So all it's done is it's automatically calculated how many units I need in order to make that trade equate to that much. I could do the same thing. I could do the same thing in the, actually, sorry, just to confuse things. Say I wanted to make this trade $100. Now you'll notice that that's around about half what the other trade was, right? So my other trade was like this. So it's about half. So obviously, to make this worth $100, I would have to double the amount that I would have to risk, because it's half the size. Because if I made it the same value as this move would only be $50, and then you'd get to the 100. So to make this 100, I'd have to double the size. So this was about 15. So if I retake that trade here, and I say 10%, this should be just over 30. Yeah, see, just over 30. Because, 15 times 2 is 30. Does that make sense? Are you keeping up? Did I explain that cleanly enough? Okay. Just making sure, because I understand it, and so me trying to explain it to you, for me, I could like go too fast, or like, I don't know what your maths level is like, right? Now, the other thing you need to be aware of is this thing called leverage and margin. People are like, don't go high leverage, you can lose so much money. Go as high as you possibly can. The people that say that are idiots. Yeah. The people that say that are idiots. The people that say they are a different type of trader and they've got nothing to do with the type of trading that I do. The reason you want the leverage as high as possible is it makes your margin as low as possible. If you're controlling your risk per trade in this exact manner, then leverage is your friend, not your enemy. Those people who say leverage is evil lose all their money because they've over leveraged for their position size. Well, this is your position size and you've controlled it. If you have higher leverage, you can take cleaner trades using less of your own real money and more of the leveraged money, which requires this whole other thing called margin, which is basically the broker's buffer if the trade goes against you. Okay, now in this case here, you can actually see that TradingView calculates the margin for me, right? And you'll see that the margin is $82 of 1,000. So I'm leveraged at like 500 or something, or 100 or 500 or something, I can't remember, on my paper trade account. Does it tell me? Do I have to edit it? I'm leveraged at Forex 100 to 1, okay? Now to make the point, okay, say if I've got $1,000 in my account and I take this trade at 10%, which is scares most people, you'll see I've used fucking 10% of my 88% of my margin up, right? At 100 to 1 leverage, I've used 8% of my margin up to take a $100 trade, which means I could fully leverage. I could take $1,000 trade here, right? I could risk not quite. Okay, no, I could risk $100 trade to get all the way up. Okay, so I can only take one up to $100 or $130 or so in trades. Okay, at 1 to 100. So the biggest trade I can take is $100. Specifically, though, it's not actually the dollars you got to worry about. It is the units that you need to worry about. or the lots. Units of lots is a different thing again. Fuck me. Paper trading tends to work in units, and real trading tends to happen in lots. One lot, write this down, you have to think about this later, okay? One lot is 100,000 units, so 0.01 lots, which is the normal minimum that you can trade, 0.01 lots, is 1,000 units. So if you're using paper trading on TradingView, you can never use less than 1,000 units because it just literally will not let you buy that. It's not possible to take that trade. Now, the reason that all of this is important is that if I change this down to, say, fucking 10 to, 4x 10 to 1, watch what happens to my margin when I try to take that same $100 trade. I can't. That is now the equivalent of a $10 trade. With that lower margin, with that lower leverage, I have a $1,000 account, $1,000 in my account, but the most I can risk is $10. With higher leverage, I can risk up to $100. Not that I recommend that the average player risks 10% of their account on every trade. But if that means that if I wanted to make... So we were doing that on this one here, okay? But watch this. With this one here, that's half, right? So I could make this as a $10 trade, right? I can do a $10 trade. My margin is nearly maxed out. Now, because this one is double, which we discussed before, this here, I think the maximum I'll be able to take on this is like $5 or $6. If I try and take $10, I've hit my margin. The most I can take is $5. See? I'm right up on the maximum now. So, understanding this is important. It's not hugely, like you don't have to understand every tiny little... All you got to know is more leverage, more room. Right? More, you can use more of your account. Because $5 a trade on a $1,000 account is 0.5% per trade. I just wouldn't be able to cope with it. I wouldn't be able to do it. 1% per trade. Holy fuck. No. But, and I say that, this is a big but, okay? My systems make money. My systems make money more often than they lose money. And I know that. So, trading that small would drive me bonkers because I know I'm leaving money on the table. Oh, I lose more. Yes. But I win more. Yes. But I know my systems make money. And that's the difference. A lot of people that go, what, never trade more than 1%. Yeah, exactly. So, two things, right? Only ever demo trade until you have a system that you know works. It doesn't know, you don't know that it works until you tested it 10,000 times. Okay? This is a thing that my book focuses on, actually, is that backtesting is trading mastery. I didn't say that though, but that's actually not bad. So what backtesting does is if you take 10,000 trades, there's this other aspect that comes into this, by the way. If you take 10,000 trades using one system and it has profit over those 10,000 trades, you can be fairly confident that it's going to work in the future, or that it's consistent, or that overall you're going to win more often than you're going to lose. Whatever, however you want to phrase that. Now, if I've tested my system over 10,000 or 100,000, over 10,000 trades, and I've done it by hand in here, I can be far more confident than if I put it on a computer, hit go, and had it automatically script and go 10,000 times. Because I didn't see what happened. I didn't see what, when it won, when it lost, how much it won, how much it lost. I didn't go through the emotional roller coaster that taking those wins and losses had. So I have no real, I might have confidence that the system works, but I don't have any emotional resilience to that system in real time. See, when you do back testing like this, system being just figuring out patterns and buying in at the same points every time, and selling off, yes, and being consistent, yes. Am I consistent? No. That's why I do this, and I automate my systems. See, my systems run the scripts. See, the scripts, code, hundreds of thousands of lines of code. Okay, because you can do it in much less than that. I have many scripts, and overall, all of them in my libraries are just under 500,000 lines of code. But I mean, some of these scripts are 200-300 lines, so they're pretty short. You can hit a system is a rule for entries, a rule for exits, and they don't have to be the same rules. Okay, think about this. This will blow your fucking mind. This will set you ahead of the crowd. Okay, the rule for entry doesn't have to be the same as the rule for exit. So if you took the SMA 50 or something, let's just do this, just the SMA, let's just do the simplest SMA, and I'll make that bigger. I'm going to use 50 just because. Boop. Okay, now clear all my drawings. Say my rule was that my entry is whenever we cross the SMA, we enter the trade. Okay? You would think the natural rule would be whenever we cross back, we close the trade. Well, you don't have to do that. You could use the SMA to enter. So you say, whenever it crosses, well, it crossed here, we take the trade. So we'd reverse that one, right? And then it crosses it back over here as well, right? So we'll just move that over here. So we take that trade, okay? And then it crosses back over here. So the natural idea would be, you know, whenever it crosses the SMA, we take the trade. Okay, just an example. I'm not recommending this, although it kind of looks kind of really fucking good right now on this, but whatever. Okay, so that's one way of approaching it, but we don't have to use the SMA as our exit. We could use SMA is simple moving average. All it does is it takes the price of the last, right now I'm using SMA 50, so it takes the price of the last 50, averages that out, and then draws that line there, wherever that is. So if price is continually moving down, then if the price is continually moving down, the average would be higher than the current price, which is what you're looking at here, right? Now this is called a lagging indicator, and theoretically, all indicators are lagging because they tell you what price did, what it was doing. And the SMA 50 tells you what the price was doing 50 candles ago. Well, 25 candles ago, because it's the average over 50. So the SMA is lagging by 25 candles, okay? So it's telling you what was happening, which means it's not a very good indicator of what's going to happen. But do you know what it is? This is, I don't know if you've read everything I wrote on Reddit, but this is a good example of what I mean about using it for risk management. Because when price changes direction in a big way, see what I did here? I put my entry at that price and I would have put my stop loss there, because it is a great tool. Indicators in general are a great tool for good risk management, right? I would use it to figure out what my risk would be rather than the direction of the next trade. Anyway, I could use one indicator to tell me that I think direction's going to go in a direction, right? When it crosses the SMA, when it crosses the average of the last 50 candles, I think price is probably changing direction. Now I could use something like, don't worry about it too much, the RSI to plan my exits. Now the RSI is it's an oscillator. The fuck does RSI stand for? I don't know. I've called it the RSI for so long. Range something. I can't even remember. Anyway, it's an oscillator, and it's good at it's okay at giving you an idea of how much price has moved recently. It's meant to tell you when things are overbought and oversold, but it's full of shit. Okay? Don't use it for that. Don't use it for that. It is better at telling you when there was a big move recently than telling you when there's going to be a directional change. Okay? But it tells you when there was a big move. And so if I took this trade here at this point, and then further on down the track, the RSI goes into what they call oversold, okay? I wouldn't use this to say now's a good time to buy. I'd use this to close, because it's not telling me that the price is oversold. I don't believe that, okay? Horse shit. What it is telling me is that there was a big move recently, and now might be a good time to take advantage of that. So I would take an open on the SMA and take my close on the RSI. So that's just an example. I'm not saying this is a good system. It might be. I've never tried this. If I have, I've forgotten that I've tried it. There could be juice here. I mean, it looks really clean when you look at it right now. But that being said, this is also a trending market, so maybe it works well in trending markets. So you'd want a way to measure whether a market is trending or consolidating. And if it's trending, this works. Cool. Right? So I'd want another indicator which says that the market is in a set of conditions where this particular system actually works really well, so we can trade at this point. And then when it stops being ideal conditions, we just stop all our trading. Right? Market phases is the big thing. And this is actually the next book I'm writing, because I've finished my other one. I just got to figure out whether I'm going to print it or not. But understanding market phases and only trading your system or that system during that phase will give you more edge. Because the reason a lot of systems work is that they work under specific market conditions, but then people make the mistake of trying to make their system work in all sets of market conditions, instead of waiting for the correct set of conditions and then taking those trades when things are all lined up.
And I think that this is probably the thing that most people are missing in their strategy that is causing them to lose money over the long term, because instead of trying to take advantage of the moments where their strategy takes advantage, they're trying to do it over and over and over again when the overall market doesn't suit the idea. Do you think that your best bet is to just go into paper trading and practice until you can find? No. I'm still having a tough time how to know when to buy in and get out. Trust me, that is everybody's problem, okay? Well, everybody has two problems. All failed traders, all traders that lose money, have two problems. Sometimes more, sometimes a lot more, okay? First one is when to get in and when to get out. No, everyone has a plan, an idea. No, everyone thinks they know. The problem is that they don't trust their system enough. And so they don't hold when they should hold, and they don't get out when they should get out. That is the first problem, is people do not trust their system and they don't hold their system. The second problem is that their system is no good. Okay, it doesn't work. Or it does work under specific market conditions, and they're trading when the market isn't under those conditions. So, with that as a summary, do I think that my best bet is just to go, your best bet is just to go into paper trading and practice until I can find a pattern to follow? No. The goal of paper trading, the benefit of doing this as practice, is to teach you mental fortitude. That is the benefit. Seeing a system work out over time and going, this is my entry, this is my exit, and sticking to it religiously. Because when you come across a system that works, whether you find one online, which I doubt because profitable traders do not share their systems, that's a rule, by the way. If someone's telling you this is how I trade, if you listen to the most successful traders, they'll tell you the ideas. They will almost never tell you what their trading plan is. There's a reason for that. So, paper trading teaches you fortitude in the face of adversity. When you take that trade and then it instantly goes against you, do you go, oh shit, and get out? If that's part of your plan, then yes. But if you have a fixed stop loss and a fixed take profit, or fixed rules that say this is when you take profit, this is when you hit your stop loss, paper trading is good at teaching you to stick to those rules. Because if you don't stick to those rules, even in a losing system, if you don't stick to those rules, when you have a winning system, you can't stick to those rules. That's the problem I have to watch videos on systems, but I don't buy it. How do I find a system without just going in blindly over time? Backtesting. Now, markets are traditionally seen through two lenses. You have the TA lens and the FA lens. That is the technical analysis lens, which is indicators. And you have the fundamental analysis lens, which is news reports, yearly reports, business reports, financial earnings and projections reports. That's all called fundamentalist analysis. And then technical analysis is applying maths to the chart. And you'll find that most traders are one or the other, right? My a lot of my systems are purely technical analysis. Some of my newer ones don't actually look at the chart. They are actually technical analysis of fundamentals that are applied to the chart. That's a whole fucking another level. So they're not actually looking at the price. They're looking at the sales reports and stuff, blah, 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 and applying technicals to that. I have watched videos on systems, but I don't buy it. How does one find a system without going in blindly? Play. Backtesting and play. Just, our brains are pattern recognizing machines. And the reason why we like trading is because we think we can see a pattern. Right? And it's so stupid because it's so simple. You're looking at this as a perfect example. You see a pattern. What is that pattern? That pattern is up. That pattern is down. Right? That pattern is up. This is what we see. And we think if there's a pattern, we can predict it. And generally speaking, I don't feel that trying to predict the pattern is the optimal way to win at this game. Okay? I used to say this to my flatmate. Used to drive her crazy because she doesn't understand. She's still, a year later, she still doesn't understand this. I don't care what direction the market's going to move. I just want it to move. I don't care. I'm not positioned. I'm not trying to predict the direction, okay? I'm just taking a trade, and then if it keeps going in my direction, I'll hold it. And if it's not going in my direction anymore, I'll close it. And it's that simple. It's not that simple. It's really not. But it is. I just want to be positioned for a move. I think, I'm going to say most, but I think a lot of traders, especially newer traders, are looking to capture the moves, like day trading, like seeing all the spikes and trying to predict the next spike and catch the next big rip. And I'm not sure, because I never got into that like most people did, or like most people seem to. I think that's caused by TikTok style influencers who bet, gamble, bet big money on a move, and then they get this big rip, and then they hoot and holler, and they, yeah, look how much money I made, woo, hey, that's it, I'm out for the day. You know, those kinds of traders, if they had an actual system, you know, one of the things they seem to say, I've seen a lot of their TikTok and Instagram reels, right? One of the things they seem to say is, I've made my money, I'm out for the day, that's it, whoop, I'm out. Okay, look, if you had a working system, a reliable working system, you wouldn't take that one trade and then be out when it wins, right? You would look for that setup over and over and over again, and you would take it every single time you saw it. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Coming back to your question. It says that you left. I don't know. Are you still with me? Yeah. It's what that is they're selling a lifestyle. Right? And the reason they're selling a lifestyle is because they're saying, if you buy my system, you can have this lifestyle. That's why. So when you say you don't get it, The reason is because they're not trading, they're selling you a course that is then funding their lifestyle. In fact, a lot of those traders, when they do that shit, you'll find that they're not actually trading live. It's probably pre-recorded. And they just kept doing it until they won one. And then they'll play that back at you. Not necessarily the whole stream, by the way. Just the trade. They might be playing a pre-recorded trade and then playing it off as if it's a real trade on camera. But they knew that it was going to go up or down because they pre-recorded it. Yeah. Look, a lot of it is hogwash, so it's hard to understand. You're going to go a long way. Okay. Let me give you another piece of advice, okay? You know, people say trading is hard, blah, 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 people, whatever. Okay. Trading, long-term trading, whether it's day trading, scalping, swing trading, okay, I'll explain those in a second. Trading, putting your money on the line to risk to make more money is a job. It is work. I've heard people say that, you know, it takes years to learn the skill, like a college degree, like going to school. You don't make money for those 4 years that you're at school. And something that I don't think most people say is that you can go to college for 4 years, get a degree. That doesn't guarantee when you get out of school that you're going to get a job. I mean, maybe a doctorate would, but like a GP doctor or a surgeon or something like that, that might just about guarantee a job. But it doesn't actually, you don't have a guaranteed job when you go into college. You could do this for a year or 4 years or 10 years, and there's no guarantee that you're going to be profitable, but you will know more than what you did. And if you keep doing that, then eventually you'll have to figure something out and you'll have to make money eventually. Most traders are out, done, broke, gone in 90 days. It takes the average person around 2 years before they will start breaking even. And it takes about 4 before they understand consistency. Trading is a job. Jobs are boring. If you're having fun, if it's exciting, you're not trading. It's not a job. It's gambling. Some people, some professional gamblers, you know, they make a living doing it. But some. And usually they're gaming the system somehow. And in trading, it's much the same. You have to you want to understand that I've seen this through a lot of lenses. Okay, so trading types. You've got day trading, you've got scalping, you got swing trading, and you got position trading. Scalping is like 1 minute candles. Like you're trying to catch a scalp. You're trying to scalp the top off. You know, you're trying to skim the fat. Very fast, very intense. I have ADHD. You would think that with ADHD that scalping would suit me because, you know, it's fast and it's exciting and shit's always drives me fucking bonkers. Absolutely drives me insane. I can't handle it. Risk tolerance. That's the next topic. So you'd think, okay, well, do you go faster? No, pulling back and going to slower time frames actually suited me better. I had more time to think about what I was doing, and then I could do it and walk away. With scalping, it's like the market moves, 1 minute candle, and then for like 2 seconds, hey buddy, how you doing? So the market moves, and then for like 2 seconds I've got something to do, and then I've got 58 seconds of nothing to fucking do. That 58 seconds is the longest time ever, dude. So by pulling back and having a trade to do in a moment, and then like going off and walking the dog for an hour and coming back again, suited me way better. I'm good, actually. Having a good day, talking to New Guy Turbo, you know. Been not too bad. So day trading can be anything from the 1 second time frame to like the 1 hour time frame. A lot of day traders, so you can have this as part of your strategy. A lot of day traders have a tendency to trade a single setup in the day, where like they'll take the 9 o'clock movement in the morning and they'll look for a specific move or breakout and they'll take that one trade. Okay, that guy's different to the YouTube, Instagram trader we were talking about before. Remember I said earlier that a lot of technical analysis works, but it only works in specific market conditions, and the problem is that people try to make it work when the market conditions aren't happening. So they have a good system that works under specific circumstances, but the problem is that they're trying to apply it all the time under all sorts of circumstances. There's a subset of traders that know that at 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning or 9:30 in the morning, whenever, the market moves in a specific way, and they take advantage of that, like at market open or at market close or during the lunch break or something like that. Okay, that's not them taking one trade and walking away. That's part of their setup, is they have that time frame, that specific set of market conditions, and then they take that one trade and then they walk away. Absolutely fine. That's ideal because they are filtering it through that set of market conditions. Okay, and that's a great way to trade, because then you only have to do one trade a day and then you walk away from the computer. Fucking amazing. But it might be on the hourly time frame, might be on the minute, doesn't matter. It's part of their setup. Okay, so that's day traders. Then you got what's called swing traders, who would look at, so this is an hourly chart. This is an ideal example. This example I was giving you here is an ideal example of swing traders, where they look for that swing, they look for this point here, and then they will take that trade, and then they'll walk away from it for that long, hopefully, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. What app do you use to code your systems? Great question. MetaTrader. I use the evil MetaTrader that everybody hates. That didn't reset. Why isn't that reset? Hang on, let me just reset this. Okay, 131 is the daily. Sorry, sidetracked. CCH Gold. 131 is the daily. This was 22 last time I did. Oh. Sorry, I gotta do it while I'm thinking about it. Otherwise I will forget and then get pissed off at myself later because I didn't. Okay, that means I also need to do the US Jippy one. I probably forgot that as well. Yeah, see, told you. Now, do I recommend MetaTrader? It's a pain in the ass. It took me years to learn it. C-Trader's just come out. It might be good. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I couldn't answer that. But I think if I was going to do it again, I would probably look at CTrader first. But I just know MetaTrader, and I have hundreds of thousands of hours and hundreds of thousands of lines of code in MetaTrader. So I don't want to learn again. I don't want to start again. So I'm sticking to it despite everyone telling me that I'm trash for doing so. Which MetaTrader, because when I searched up there were 5. Yes, I use 5. I was using 4, but my broker stopped using 4 because it was hackable apparently. And so I had to transfer everything over to 5, and 500,000 lines of code later. It took nearly a year to do it. And I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again. Do you think Forex would be a good beginner spot to start trading? Or what would you recommend? So hot take. I don't recommend, but I like Bitcoin. The reason I like Bitcoin, not because it's fancy or everyone fucking loves it, but those moves are so clean, and when they move, man, they're huge. Although I'm looking at this and there's less clean moves. In fact, it's been going sideways for a long time. See, this is very sideways to me for Bitcoin. That's trendish, trendy, trend-like. Let me get rid of this. I was using this as that example earlier. These are terrible indicators. Why would you do that? The reason I like Bitcoin. Yeah. Yeah. The reason I like Bitcoin is because of this spread, right? But the thing is, and let me show you where the pain point of Bitcoin is, okay? The pain point of Bitcoin is trying to take that trade. Say you've got a $100 account that you're starting with, okay? And you want to take a $1 trade. Say I wanted that to be a $1 trade. Oh, it'll let me do it with, hang on. Let me do it on a real account or on one of my, no. Okay, so let me do it on this account. So this is a proper account with, what do you mean units? Right, there we go. So this is a proper account, right? Not one of the paper accounts. Paper accounts will let you, that TradingView's paper account will let you do anything. Shit you're really not allowed to actually legally do. I can't take a $1 trade on this, okay? It's too small. Minimum must be 0.01, okay? 0.01. So the minimum trade I can take is $4. And that's on like 1 to 500 leverage or something, which most accounts don't have. On most accounts, the minimum trade is about $25, $30. And if you're starting with a $100 account, that fucking hurts, right? So that's the reason why I would shy away from Bitcoin as a beginner. If you want to use little accounts with money, with real money, and you want to use realistic sizing that you can actually afford, then Bitcoin may not be it. Gold, however, gold is a great pick. It tends to be quite trendy. The moves are quite big when they happen. Really tight spreads. This is a 1 minute market. Look at the spread. On the 1 minute market, it's tiny. Right? I love this. And for Forex, I like the US Jippy. That's probably my favorite. All of these are set up for a specific system that I'm trying to test. Actually, there it is. Which is Where's the start point? This guy. Sorry, let me just get my shit together here. Okay. So I mean, you honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with gold. Just gold. It's got great spreads. It's got great stop. It's got tight, super tight spreads. It's super volatile. It's got heaps of liquidity. So I say gold, but I'm actually doing the gold versus US dollar. That's not actually gold. It's the XAU USD. XAU is gold. USD. Yeah, I mean, you could do just that, and that would be the only thing you ever did, and you'd be fine. Especially as a beginner. I think that might be it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the answer. Yeah. Final answer. Gold versus US dollar would be a great starting point. Super tight spreads, super high liquidity, super high volatility. But it really depends on you and your playstyle. So risk tolerance is a factor, right? Risk tolerance is as or more important than risk management. I've got an alarm going off in the other room. I'll be back. Okay. Sorry. Risk tolerance. There are different types of trading. We've discussed this briefly. Some people like to scalp, right? To see the move, catch the move, be in and out and be done. Right? And then wait for the next setup. Right? Some people like to be in the market all the time, trying to catch the wave. Then there's me, who likes to be in the market in both directions at the same time, all the time. Most people don't. That's a little bit more complicated. Most people don't even understand what that is. Remember how I was saying about being in a position to capture any move? You know how I was saying that, like, you could say this is a trade, okay? What I do, one of the things that I would do, is I like to take that trade. I take both those positions at the same time. And I make money on the difference. So if price was to move up to here, I would be break even the whole time, right? Price could move anywhere between, do I have that tool? No, okay. Price could move anywhere between here, right? Here, 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 here. Where's that line? Between there and there, okay. Price could move anywhere between here, and I would have the same amount of money no matter where it moved, because I've got that trade that way and that trade that way, and they'd be worth the exact same amount, right? And then if price breaks that, I lose this trade. Okay, it's closed out on the stop loss. I've lost that trade. The instant that makes 1 cent profit, you could close this trade as well. And he made 1 cent. If it went against you and went down, I'd close that trade as well and I'd lose 1 cent. But chances are, if this one breaks, it's going to keep going for a little while. So maybe I'd set this to win 2 cents. Like the tiniest possible trade you could get. The potential issue is that if this, what you can get is a double whammy where it goes up to here, hits this, closes this one, so you lose the full position, and then it never makes this, it just comes back down here and closes this position, and then you lose 2 big losses. That's what most people would do in this situation. Whereas I would have this on a bot, on script, so that the second this touches this, it would bring this stop loss all the way up to here. Because I'm seeing a general movement up here, and I would hope that it would continue to move. I wouldn't actually bring it to there. I'd probably use like the average range of the average move and then go slightly bigger. There's a tool that does that called the ATR, average true range, right? I actually have a dedicated one that I built myself. Right, so what you could do, fuck, this is probably a strategy. You could probably just do this. This would probably work. Do you have any idea how to code at all? Any language on anything? Fair question. Do you post VODs? Nah, maybe I should. So, what you could do, right, is, because I don't even, what the fuck is a VOD? Ah, it's alright. As long as you have an idea of how to do it, right? So, close this one, grab this. So say I went like this, okay? I did the same thing here and took this trade. Oh, okay. Well, this one is very informative, I will say. I am surprised at myself. Now, you could, and then you do this extra bit. Right now, this is arbitrary. I don't know, whatever. Okay. So you can take that trade, or you could zoom out. This is actually a better idea. You could take the recent high and low. So say, like this one here, recent high and low. Let's go 1 and 1. Clone, reverse, close that one. Okay, so we get our recent high and low, and then we take this distance here, which is our ATR, right, from there to open. Is it? No, there. Let's just, oh, sorry, wrong button. Wrong thing. I want something that draws a box. Oh, this draws a box. Okay, so that's a level. That works. That's a level, okay? So what you could do is make that go to there. Because on average, it will probably move that high. You could do half that, because then on average, it will get there 70% of the time. That's statistics. So you could make that go there. Statistically speaking, it will do 1 ATR 30% of the time, but when it goes more than that, it goes a lot more than that. Probabilities. I have a range probabilities. I have a script that actually calculates exactly how often that happens. It's coming. It takes forever. Okay, so what you could do. There you go. So we hit 1 ATR 41% of the time. No. 44%, 42% of the time we hit 1 ATR on the setup, okay? So what if you went like this? I'm just having a thought here. Look, I'm going to have to go and fucking test this later now. You watch. I'm going to do it next. I might even do it in front of you guys so you can see how this works, right? Okay, so that's all marked out correctly. Now, what my script would do, right, is it would take the trade, it would go recent high, recent low, set it up as a one-to-one like this, and then it would go, well, if it goes into profit, it makes money. Now, as soon as this hits this line here, the instant it hits that line, I'd be like, there's a 41% chance, 43% chance that it's going to hit this mark. And then there's a 8% chance that it would hit 2. So I would, if price moved to here, I got a 44% chance of it hitting up here at 1, and I've got an 8% chance of it hitting here at 2. Oh, I don't even think I can post the VODs because I don't think I'm recording VODs. And so as soon as that hits that and closes this trade, I would make my bot move this stop loss. It won't let me do it. I would make my bot move the stop loss up to this point here, and then that would be my actual valid trade. Now at that moment I would be down by however much this one lost by, but because this trade here is still open, so if this lost $10, this one would be up $10, okay? And then as soon as price gets to $10 and fucking 5 cents, you could close it. And you made 5 cents. Whoop-de-fucking-do. But you know what? Making 5 cents on every single trade forever and ever is a lot better than losing $10 every trade. I'm looking for a trended direction and then I'm arbitraging the difference. The trick is, you've got to remember about this evil little thing called spread. So this gap here, this profit gap, has to be bigger than the spread. That's it. And that's a system. That's actually a whole fucking system. I might code that. I feel like I've done that before. But I didn't have, the last time I did it, I didn't have this guy. Now, a 1 ATR is a 42% chance, and a 2 ATR is an 8% chance. So I've got an 8% chance of losing and a 42% chance of winning. That's net profit, right? That's net profit. You just watch me build a system that I'm going to code that's going to work, that's going to make money. And it's going to make around about 10% of each trade in profit. So that there's this thing called expectancy. Yeah, there's this thing called expectancy, okay? I work on expectancy, right? Most people don't. Most people work on win-loss ratios, right? So my buddy wants me to record the VOD. Let me see if I can find the button that lets me record VODs. To be fair, this was amazing. I wish I had recorded it. Maybe it's recorded on YouTube. It might be on my YouTube. Like, it's possible that it's recording it there. Let me see, because under settings, I saw it earlier. Do you want to record VOD? So let me just see if I can find it again, and I'll turn it on for here. It was under this, wasn't it? VODs. Here you go. But I'm pretty sure. Yada yada yada, horse shit. Yeah, look, see? It recorded that one. I don't know how to save them. So maybe it will do that. I'll make sure that I save this one next. I don't even know how to do it. Do I have a thing here that lets me, like, specifically says save all of this conversation that we've had for the last couple of hours? I don't know. Let me look it up. YouTube save VOD. YouTube Studio Content Live tab. YouTube Studio Content Live. Oh yeah. What? Okay, then what? You go to the 3 dots next to the live stream you want and then save, choose, download. Okay. Well, edit, analytics, view in live control room, options. This is it, isn't it? Is this not it? Get shareable link. No, that's not it. Promote, brainstorm. I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't know how to do it. Does anybody know how to do it? Am I in the wrong place?
And click on the content button on the left-hand side.
Okay, so it didn't tell me that bit. All right, so if I go to this one, content. Oh, yeah, no, that's where we are. There we go. Huh? Okay.
Navigation bar, click on content. Go to live, and then find the live stream that you want to download, and click on the 3 dots and click download.
Oh, okay. So it only works when I've closed closed it then. But fucking dogs, man. What's odd is that I don't know. I don't want to delete it. I want to save it. Okay, I'll try it later. I don't know. I guess I need to save from now on. Alright, whatever. Where was I? What was I up to? What was I up to? Thinking about coding this idea out. Right. Expected value. Let me explain expected value. Too many traders think about win rate. Right, it's like I need a positive win rate. You don't. You know, I need to win 60% of my trades. You don't. No, this isn't the, I mean, this is minutes. Yeah, it is too. Yeah, I mean, this would work. It might work better in the minute scale than the longer term, actually, because it's catching trends, right? The idea is it's looking for, so let me hide this. How to, oh, that's not the one I want to hide, that's the one I want to hide. That's part of the game that you need to figure out. Like, yeah, it could work on the minute time frame. Yeah, it could. Will it? So if you look just here at this, you'll see that it closed this trade and now it's reversing back up. Okay, now in theory, if I had scripted this as I said I'm going to on this trade, it would adjust this thing's stop loss to this level. So now what we're looking at, oh look, yeah, I win the trade. There you go. That's it, it's closed. I won that trade. Here you go. I made $1. Because remember I said that was a $10 trade? But, oh, well, I mean, realistically it would have been a, if that had been $10 to there, it would have been about a fifth. It would have made $2. Do you think it's usable at any time of the day? Do you mean, do I think it's usable all day? Then yes. Yes, I would have this running 24 hours a day. I'd never turn it off. Well, actually, I don't know about that. I don't know if there's a filter. I don't know if there's a time of day that it would work better than other times of day. And if there was, I'd figure out why, and then I'd try to mathematize the why. So I would be like, well, it works really well when the volume is over, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it works really well during this time of day and this time of day because that's when everybody goes to lunch. Oh, it works this, and then I would figure out a why that I can turn into an indicator, okay? And lunchtime trading, by the way, is a valid indicator to me. It's fundamental because it's based on real world events and news. The news is everybody went to lunch. But I can turn that into an indicator which says only trade at lunchtime in New York during this hour and this hour. Okay, so I can make fundamental analysis into a technical analysis that filters my script so that it only works during specific market conditions. Perfect example of what I was talking about before. Do I think that it will? I think I'd run it all day, every day. I think something like this, I would just run. I would just leave it running, and every time it closes a trade, either win or win loss. So okay, here's something for you. This system would have an exact 50-50 win rate. It would always win one and always lose one. Okay? Always, every time. I have a system that has a 4% win rate. And it is the best system that I have. This is it. No, it's not. Let me show you the other one. This guy. second best system that I have. Unfortunately, he's just started running, so there's not much to show. What's this guy? This is the other one. Over time, if you come back tomorrow morning, you'll see this will have run over time, and you'll see it. I've had this thing, yeah, it has a 4% win rate. So I lose 96% of my trades. But it's profitable. So I don't really believe in win rate. Oh, and that, by the way, that system that I just showed you with that huge loss rate is basically a bigger version of what this does. It does it slightly fancier because it does it during trends. But I'm thinking about doing it now in a trend agnostic environment. It could work. Now, remember how I was saying about earlier about how I was hitting ones 40% of the time, and it said I was hitting the twos 8%. It's now 11%. So if the ones get down to like 20%, or the twos get up to like 20%, or like if how do I explain this? What I'm looking at is a 2-to-1 win ratio. I'm actually looking at a trade that looks like this. Do I have a preferred broker? Yeah, it's there should be a link in my Twitch. I'm looking at a trade. Actually, I got that exact. That's 0.5. I'm looking at a trade looks like this. Okay, so I have to win 2 if I lose 1. So I have to win more than 2 in order to make money. Okay, now I win 1 42% of the time, and I lose 2 11% of the time. So 22% of the time I will hit the 2, and 43% of the time I will hit the 1. So I'm in a 20% profitable trade. I have an expected positive return of 20% of my trade amount for every trade that I take. Even though theoretically I'll lose more trades than I win. But with this system I should win more often. Actually, I should. That's kind of complicated to explain. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at? A system like this needs to win more than 67% of the time in order to break even. And he gone. Oh, my music stopped. I counted that. there, Turbo? Oh, look. Hello, new person. Right, so... maybe I'll code this. Maybe I'll code this. I'm feeling lazy. You want to see me be lazy? Right. So the idea is... $16.40. Okay, so it can go against me. Wait, we did that one. Fucking look at that. See how beautiful that is. Alright. 2 is 11. 1 is 28. That's getting very close. Okay, so it can do it. It can go against me. $38, $11. Very hard for it too, by the looks. Okay. Well, right now these market conditions are ideal. See, this says that for every trade that I take, I know you can't see this, but it says that for, go away. Every trade that I take at 0.6 on US Jippy, I should make 0.41. That doesn't seem right. Maybe I should check this out. I might load this account up and try it out. Oh, this is on 1 minute. Won't work because of the spreads. Yeah, see? On the hourly, 2 is 6% and 1 is 26. Okay, this could work. This could work. It could. I closed you, thank you. I have to finish this one, but I want to do this idea too now. This is crazy. You can see this whole thing here. Let me just move this back to this so it's easier for you to read what's going on here. Okay. So, what am I doing? ADHD, man, I get distracted. This guy, that was on the 1 minute. Let's go back to the 1 minute for a minute. Let's go back to the 1 minute for a minute. Hugely positive on the 0.02 on this, if it loads up. Okay. Then I want to build this idea, and it requires that script, which is, I have to find it. That one. More or less, it is this guy. Why the fuck is this taking so long to open? The fuck is going on? Okay, here we go. Man, I'm gonna have to reset this at some point. This is unacceptable to me. It drives me crazy. I forget what I was trying to do and the time it takes to open up again. I don't know why this is struggling. Okay. Yo. When either trade hits SL, move the other still open trades SL to SL under or simple. buddy. Is it worth paying for the subscription for TradingView? Is there websites that are free that are comparable? I pay for it. I pay. Okay, so my broker, to be fair, I spend so much money on my broker that they pay for my TradingView. Okay. At your level, at your point in time, the only feature that you would really be interested in is the replay button. And that's worth paying for. In my opinion, it depends how much money you make, how much you got spare, how old you are, what you're allowed to, are you allowed to use a credit card, all of that stuff, right? But the replay button, this guy, is the reason why I pay for a subscription. Okay? What he does is it's basically backtest mode, right? Where you can go, well, I want to backtest from, I'm going to remove all of these. I don't need any of them, and one of them is bugging me out. I want to test my idea from here. So I can go, sorry. I want to test my idea from here, for whatever reason. From there. Now, it will treat it like this is the current point in time. So I can say, well, I predict that price will go down because the blah blah is over the blah blah over the blah blah, and it's going to go down to here. Okay? And then I can say, go. And it will play. And I'm like, pause. I would close that trade there, man. Okay. Now, I think because my indicators, oh no, I mean, look, actually, here we go. Look at this. Here's an indicator. It says deep red, right? Okay, well, let's keep playing. Play. Oh, yeah, can I handle it? Oh, it's gone green. Okay, so I will close it there. I will close it right there. That's it. I close that trade. Now it's gone green, so I'll buy this trade. And this is how I backtest. They have a tool here, the buy and sell buttons that you can use and shit, but I don't use them because they don't let me hedge and a couple of other things. And I would just do this. This is how I backtest. And oh, it's gone red again. Pause. Okay, so we close that trade and we open a new red trade. Play. Green. So now we take a buy trade. Red. Oh, I lost a little bit on that trade. Oh no, what a pity. But then what you can do is you can look at these. I mean, this is what I use these tools for. I use them for backtesting, right? Now I close that trade there. I close that trade there. I close that trade there. And I close that trade there. Okay? So this green, I made, I'm not looking at the amount. I'm just looking at pips on this particular setup because I don't have a fixed, like the variable risk to reward that I was showing you earlier. So this one here I made, where is it? 50.4, is this? No, where is it? 0.15, 0.145. Then I lost 0.073, and then I won 0.035, and then I lost 0.038. So those two cancelled each other out, and then this one here won twice about what that did. So overall on those 4 trades, I would have made a little bit of money, right? You can add all those up. You add up 1.45, subtract 0.73, add 0.035, and add and subtract 0.038, and you get an end result of around 0.75 positive. I went really fast. Right? But that's one way that you could do it. Or you could have like fixed lot sizing. So you could go, let's play. You could go, remember what we did earlier with the SMA? And we make that 50 because that's what we did earlier. Remove all drawings. So, interestingly, just as we start, there was a trade here. So let's say that we went to the recent high. We do this, okay? So no matter how big or small this is, it's going to equate to $10, okay? I showed you how to do that earlier. So then we just play, and we just, like, this is probably going to lose money, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it's crossed it again. I've lost money on that trade, so we take the other side because it's crossed it again. And we go to the recent, and we just play. And we've lost money again. We're losing money at a rate here, boys and girls. We can take that to the recent. For whatever reason, your arbitrary reason, whatever your reasoning wants to be, okay? And we play. It's crossed again, so I'll close that there, which is slightly in profit. Right? And we take the other trade. But you got to remember that overall this is losing right now because I've lost 2 full trades and I've won 1 partial one. My screen just went. Oh, there we go. And it crossed there. It's crossed back, so I would close that trade early, losing like $3. Whatever your rules are, you got to stick to your rules as well, right? What if my rule was I have to wait for that to close one way or the other, win or lose? Let's do that. Once I've taken a trade, it's got to be win or lose, right? Let's just do that. If that was the case, then this one here would have won when I placed it. Win or lose. Pause. So it lost. Okay. So that one loses. It crawls back at this point. It crosses a fresh one. So we make a fresh one. 1 to 1. Recent thing. 1 to 1. I'm not saying this is a good strategy. It's just an idea to show you how I'm trying to do this. Why I do it. This is what replay does, right? Ooh, exciting! Ooh, exciting! Ooh, exciting! Ooh, exciting! And see what this actually does is it helps you with that resilience of, oh, good, bad. I'm getting, you get used to the wins and losses. So we win one. Yay, we've won one. Now we need to wait for it to cross back inside. This could go up for fucking ever, right? And not touch it again. And you'll feel like, oh, I've missed all that money. You haven't, because that wasn't your plan. That wasn't your trade, right? So this one here is crossed. So we go recent, 1 to 1. Oh, actually won right there. Look at that. It actually took that trade and won. So now we wait for the next cross. There's one there. So we take the trade at the cross, go to the recent, go 1 to 1. I know this is about to get boring, but you know what? Trading is boring. And you do this 10,000 times until it's just boring. But for me, I never find it boring. At worst, I find it interesting. You know, oh, there's potential there. Oh, if I filtered it with this. Oh, if I did something slightly differently. So we haven't closed yet. We're still up and down, up and down, up and down. Up, it's closed. Okay. So that one loses. All right. And wait for the cross. No, that didn't quite cross. There's a cross. We take the next trade. We go to the recent low. Make that 1 to 1. Play. This is worth $15 a month. This costs $15 a month. Well, 10 if you're American, I think. So I think I've won 2 and lost like 6 in a row. So right now, under these market conditions, this is a terrible strategy, but that's not the point. The point is just showing you how whoop, there's a cross there. So you could add another filter, right? And that filter might be that you only take the trade if the SMA is moving in the direction of the cross. So right here, this crossed upwards, but the SMA is still pointing down. So I wouldn't have taken the trade. But then when it crossed back down through the SMA, that might have been the correct trade to take. But every time you have that rule, I can't do that right now. And the reason I can't is because I'm changing the rules halfway through a test. Okay? That new rule creates a new test. So I either have to keep doing my original rules so I can count up later on to get an actual accurate number, write my new rules down, and then rerun the test again with the new set of rules. But this is replay. This is... For me, it's worth paying for. You can't use this feature without paying for it. And that's all I use it for, really. Although in saying that, to be fair, one of those indicators I just deleted has an alert that beeps on my phone on daily trades occasionally, which is useful, which is also a paid feature. But that's just kind of a nice to have for me. What I pay for is this one feature here. Yeah, I was about to go check that myself, my friend. So, what is the look back period? The look back period is going to be... Let's say we're doing this on the 1 minute. That would mean I take 60 trades now. That's not good. I don't like that. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, hopefully I can figure out how to save the VOD. But yeah, thanks for dropping in. Do I know you on Reddit, by the way? What's your name on Reddit? Have I seen you around? How did you find me? All of that stuff. I haven't really been active in Reddit for a while, to be honest, but thanks, I guess. I find Reddit. My problem with Reddit is every time I say something useful, everyone's like, "Oh, you don't know what you're fucking talking about." It's like, "Oh, fuck you, cunts." Oh well. I'm glad that you found me. I hope that I helped. I hope that I make a little bit of sense. You go do whatever you gotta do, and I'll be here like I always am every day. Enjoy your day. And I'm gonna write the script. Maybe you drop it in a couple of days and see. Ask me, and I'll run it for you, and we'll see how it goes, eh? Yeah. Catch you later, brother. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for saying something. It's nice to see you. It's nice to have someone to chat to be honest. It's probably the best part. That's what I do it for. It's good to do this because otherwise this journey is fairly lonely. I love you. I love you. Good girl. Good boy. Stay. Come. Come. That a boy. I love you. Okay. I'll come and say hi. Look, I'll come and say hi, right? Hello, bug. Hello, boy. Okay. Doggo says hi. Right. So, Great questions. MSH XAU 1 minute. Today is the 9:15, and that is blue. And that is boarded. Let that run. No. Right. What in the fuck? How in the flying fuck is that taking so long? Is there something wrong with that drive? Yeah. No, well, I'll see if I can save this, because I don't know how to save this. If it's not saving, then I don't know. Where is it? Wow. Okay. Uh. Um. 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 You're gonna make. Okay, we'll try that. See how we go. Yo. Didn't take a trade. Nothing there. Filter negative. Filter negative. Oh, it might be on the alley. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Instant. Okay. So now we watch, wait, learn, for test. For testing is my favorite thing. Oh, we also need to, now that we've built this thing, put it into this folder. Okay, so I've got to update this stupid thing. So my baseline one, it's my baseline one that needs to be updated, right? Which is this guy. I need to update his defaults. What's this guy doing? Starts with 100k, takes tiny trades. Oh, it won the first trade. That's good. That's a good start. It's a promising start. And it lost the second trade. That's okay. Wow. It's correct. That's the expected behavior. Okay, it's good. We'll just run it. See what happens. What are you doing? Who are you? Cancel. What is this? This is my baseline guy. So oh, I know what I can do. I know how to beat that. What I can do is I can take this one, build it the way I want it to look, make that default, then copy that to that folder instead. I can do that. Instead of having to create a new account, I can background, foreground, white, bar up, bar down. Okay, so we want bar up, bar down, bar up, bar down is going to be crimson or brown. Crimson's nicer. Bull candles are going to be something a bit more muted. And bear candle is going to be 5-rec again. And line chart is going to be blue because I just don't like that. Volume's going to be none. Bid price line is light slate and light slate or similar, just grey and grey. Last price, stop levels in red. Yeah, okay. Maybe just a different color altogether, like purple or something, because that's a color I wouldn't use otherwise. Is that okay? There we go, that's easier on the eyes. And so SLs, yeah, okay. SLs and TPs are seen as the same thing in this stupid setup. Alright, so we save this in this folder as default, right? We save that. Then what we can do is we can close. Oh fuck, idiot! I don't want to close that trade. I actually want that open. Luckily I did this recently. What I actually want to do is go back to my baseline guy. Actually, what I need to do first is grab this guy. This here. Copy. Now this guy, default, is an MQL5 profile templates. So MQL5 profile templates. We put it there. What are you? It should... What? Give me... Right, this guy. This one. Necrozon. Okay, that's not the most random... I'm doing it... Fuck it. Whatever. Did I not just do this? Oh, you can do that. Okay. Isn't that interesting? Huh. Isn't that interesting? XAU. I don't know what the hell just happened. 1 minute. Template default. It's in a different place now. Okay. Interesting. Odd. Very odd. Very, very odd. But interesting. Indicators? No. Why? That's weird as... Oh. Nah, it's weird. What the flying fuck is going on? try this again, shall we? Okay, now it's starting to make sense. Okay. Okay. Now we wait. Actually, you know what? I just had a thought. Where are we? Where are we? Hey, buddy. See, this is why you need to be a coder, even when you're using GPT. I picked up on it because I understand it. I understood it before I started, and when it didn't line up with what I thought, I knew it because I could read it. And my logging, I will admit the logging was there. I saw it though, right? I saw an issue. Okay. So we start at 992. Let's go to this. We start a new page, which is this guy. What? Come on. Okay. In my logging sheet here. This one. Rename it to VPD. No. $20.10 $20.25, and we put 1,000 in, but we try again with this because we fucked up earlier and had bad code. Now we try again with a new baseline. And I don't know what just happened there. We do have to use a green, unfortunately. Okay, late. I guess we, sit here being bored watching our new toy. MSH XAU has made so much fucking money today. Okay, fuck you. It's up $56 in an hour. Alright, bro. It's on the alley. Why don't we flip to 1 minute? Buddy, quit it. Hey. No. Alright. $86. doesn't adjust properly. that's a major problem.